Sensitivity is intelligence. With grace and skill, you have abundance. Welcome to the Psychic Hour Reading Show. Host Kelly Brickle is a psychic medium, numerologist, healer, and teacher. Her passions are learning about the soul and energy. Whether through spirit, emotion, or vibrational numbers, there is always a pathway of information waiting to help. Now, here is your host of the Psychic Hour Reading Show, Kelly Brickle.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Psychic Hour Reading Show. Hello. Thank you for everybody coming on in today, and I want to just give you a warm welcome and let you know we'll be doing readings in about 10 minutes or so. We always talk about the topic of the day, and we just open up the discussion for any questions coming on in about spiritual development too, and people's journeys. So welcome. Hello, Jessica. Hello, Aspen. Good evening, and thank you. Yes, I'm on a little bit later today. I decided, you know what? It just flowed today, so that's the way we did it. So thank you for everybody for coming in a little bit later with me and being a part of it, and welcome. So the topic of the day that I wanted to jump into would be the energy of busyness. And that's what really came over me when I was thinking about, hey, what to talk about. And a lot of times I'm very much inspired by going for a walk or just feeling how I'm feeling or seeing if there's something persisting in my brain or my energy that just keeps coming up hey, this feels like the greatest need, this feels like the strongest energy pull. And that's how I talk about the topics that I do, because whether it's relevant in my life or whether it's not, it comes for a reason. And I just go, oh yeah, that's an important thing to talk about. And that's how the topic of the day is always born. So in the energy of busyness, we all have it. We all are juggling. We all are figuring out what works for us, what doesn't work, and we will continue to do that. And it's important to always ask ourselves, am I taking on too much? And it's very important from an energetic standpoint, because when we take on too much, especially if we're sensitive, because we're already uptaking so much extra information, we're going to burn out, explode, feel run down, feel not like ourselves. And it's so important to talk about all these things on an energetic level, as well as just a life level, and to understand and help all of us to go, hey, yeah, this is kind of a easier or more productive way of being. So the busyness that percolates, it's sometimes cool to be so busy. Sometimes it's nice to be so busy. Sometimes it's exhausting to be so busy. Every which way. But always to assess, do I really want this? Because when we know the energy that we are bringing into our lives and we have an intimate relationship with it, and we go, yes, I like this. Yes, I want it to be there. I mean, we need to date ourselves. We need to date ourselves energetically. Okay. Just like you need to have appointments every once in a while to check in with your spirit, to check in with your guides. Hello, Angela. To check in with your energy levels, to check in with your health. You need to date yourself. You do. You'll be like, what's going on here? We need to talk. And it should be met with some level of enthusiasm, sometimes not. It's not always great to have those conversations. Sometimes it's like, I have to check in with myself again. Ugh, do I even have the time for that? Do I even want to do that? Yeah, it's all over the place. It really is. But it's very important to understand, what energy am I allowing in my life? Because when you're just going through the day to day stuff, it's just like, this is necessity. No, it actually isn't. A lot of the things we do are not necessity. We can do it a different way. We can do it with different people. We can do it um, on a different time schedule, at a different pace. And all those things serve us. All those things are so good for us to evaluate and to experience. And I do think sometimes, we can push past our blockages. Sometimes when we do take on things and get overwhelmed, I do think, too little and too much always has its place to find our balance. But we really do have to push past our blockages. So we do have to uptake things so that we're moving and then we're knowing how to move. We're knowing how to use our energy. When things are too stagnant, so sometimes we become depressed or overwhelmed, and we need the healing period. We need the healing period. But if we become too stagnant afterwards, we're not really using our energy unless we're going within. Sometimes it looks like we're stagnant, but we're not stagnant at all. Like we are clearing ancestral, lineages. We are doing the hard work. We are reviewing what people mean to us. We're reviewing our childhood. We're reviewing the energy that's in our body or physically assessing ourselves. We're journaling. All that is very, very much movement. And I think that's important to talk about within the busyness. What busyness gets the business done? And if it's not working for you within life, if you're not getting the business of your life handled, or you're not getting your business production amplified and your abundance on, then it lets you know that there's too much busyness in your life and you're not reaping the benefits of the business that you are conducting within your life. And that's kind of how I look at it in a fun way as we talk. Hello, Kevin. We have to push past the blockages within our life. And we do that with moving our energy and understanding, wow, this is the way to do it. And this is not the way to do it. And we have to kind of be in the tornado sometimes, or within the healing of the silence sometimes. But then we try again. We course correct and we try again. So we all have it. I bet right now, if I asked you, hey, like what could go tomorrow? What could go tomorrow in my life that I don't need? Or what do I need right now that I don't have within my life? There are things that can be course corrected instantaneously. Instantaneously. Like right now, I have way too many post-it notes on my desk. You can't see them, but I have a lot of lists and notes and a lot of little numerology stuff, uh, just et cetera, et cetera. And that's gotta go. I mean, I organize it definitely actively, but there's so many. There needs to be a new format. It's got to go. Um, and oh my goodness. Yeah, and I have papers of things that I've worked on that I've put to the side, and they're organized in stacks, but they need a new place. They just need a new place. Our energy needs new places to go. We put it in a place, in a space, and we go, you know what? I'll come back to you later. Or, hey, I'm going to drop you off because I got to go look over there at that space. And then we don't call back our energy. We have to call back our energy for us to be in our power, for us to be in our focus, for us to be in our majesty. We have to call back our power. And there's a lot of areas where we're just naturally very scattered in, or we're naturally just overwhelmed in. I know people who are, oh my gosh, they're powerhouses of production, but in certain areas of it in their life, when they open and access that energy, they feel very vulnerable. They feel very scattered, even though they have things organized, they have things whipped into shape, they have control, and a lot of precision, but no one has it in every single category. And so, with the busyness of our lives, where do we need to slow down? Where do we need to heal? Where do we need to strengthen? And it's okay if it gets, I always say, it's okay if it gets messy. As long as you keep your attention on it, it's okay if it gets messy. If it gets messy and you go like, not for me, I gotta go. I gotta go. This is a sign that this is not for me. That is you going, I don't want to handle this. I don't want to handle this. And leaving it in discord, that is a sign where it was not comfortable to give it attention in the first place. It's a sign that you weren't grounded within the energy to really look at it and observe it for what it was. So, we're all learning, we're all growing, we're all learning how to handle our business better. So, whatever you're pushing past or learning more about of yourself in, don't be afraid to put your attention on it, and don't be afraid to keep evaluating what just simply works. What just simply works, and to call back any areas that you left off in that didn't work and see what happens when you integrate them. Okay. So I'm glad that this hit home for some people. So Angela's talking about you're speaking to me today. This is definitely hitting home. I'm glad it is. I mean, whether they're objects array, emotions array, choices array, we do have to be responsible for what we put out. And if we left things in disarray, we have to pick up the pieces. Now, we can do that with ourselves, and we're always tasked to step up in our power and in our responsibility to do that within ourselves. And sometimes it needs to be one piece at a time. It can't be all at once. It shouldn't be all at once. And for people, that's synergy that we can't completely control because it's ourself and another or others. And we kind of just move with what we can bring to the table, but honor and observe what another person can bring to the table while we are doing so ourselves. And I truly believe um, communication is just as hard as no communication. Attention can be just as hard as no attention. And so it's just the hard choices that we make. Where and how do you want to use your energy? And that's all there is to it. Okay, so I am going to open up the space for readings now. Hello, Keith. Hello, Katie. It's great to see everybody. Thank you for coming on in. Hello, Tara. So, if you'd like to have a reading, just pop down your numbers or let me know you want a reading, and you could ask for a general reading or something specifically with a question. I'll either pull some cards, do some numerology, or just feel into the situation as well as see. And that's the way that I work. And I'll describe it like that. Okay. All right. So we're opening up the space for readings. And all right, I have, oh, thank you. Yes, it's seriously, it's great to see familiar faces. It really is. Even if it's just an icon. Even if it's just an icon. Okay, so I'll go to Jesse Cat first, and then I'm going to bounce around to people who are open to having readings, doing some card pulls. Okay. Here we go. We're doing life readings because it is the psychic hour. Okay. We do mediumship readings sometimes with guests that come in. I like to do it that way. But for the psychic hour, when it's solo, we just focus on life readings. We focus on psychic energy. Okay. All right. Jesse Cat. Okay. So Jesse Cat. So immediately kind of before I even pull the cards, I get a sense of the busyness. Okay. So we were talking about that energy in the topic of the day, but I just feel the busyness, like, the heat turned up in the kitchen of your house. Your task list got longer. Okay. Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate you. There's always there's always things to do. There's always things to do, but I can, think about that kind mention. I appreciate that. Yes, for anybody who is looking for readings outside of this, I do have my website. You can find me there. Thank you again so much. So, okay. I feel again, Jessica, I feel the busyness, and it feels like um can you understand that like anxiety has gone up a little bit this month because you're aware of everything that's coming up? It's like the holidays are hitting and you're not in like the hustle bustle of that yet, but like you're planning. So I'm just aware of you're just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And what's happening now is we're going into the time game card. That's the one that picked. And it's about kind of making sure that you have everything that you need to have, and but you're already aware that you're overwhelmed. So it's like understanding you have anxiety, but knowing more anxiety is coming. And it's like, whoa, okay. So it's like, I'm a big fan of like course correcting before, you hit the, you know, the cliff. It's like there's a cliff coming. Let's go a different way, right? Or just making like little tweaks in ways that we can. And so I do feel like there is a lot coming up where I can't help being overwhelmed. And so the card going forward is letting me know that like the spiritual energy that you have that you like call on to like ground and receive guidance from, it's going to be so overwhelming that you're going to be like, I just don't even have time to remember that because my head's not on straight. I feel like it's coming at me from all sides. And it's just a reminder to basically do the spiritual grounding and do the self-care before it hits. It's like heads up from the universe. It's already hitting. It's going to hit even harder. And once we're so stressed, we're in survival mode, okay? So it's like saying like, "Hey, like let's do this differently this time around. Let's do it this differently this time around, and it's going to help with some other things." And I already feel like there's been even like shopping for Christmas that's going on, even though we're not at Thanksgiving yet. It's already like Christmas has started. Christmas has started. And just, I'm just like little ones just tugging at your jacket. And so, um, it's like I want you to enjoy the holidays. I want you to enjoy the holidays. I feel like you usually do enjoy the holidays, but it's like if you can understand sometimes, and every holiday is different, and I'm highlighting this because I don't feel like this is like one note for you. I absolutely don't. But I feel like some of the holidays you can't even enjoy them because you just feel so stressed out. So like this is like the message. It's the heads up. It's like we want you to enjoy this holiday and holidays this year. And you're very much capable to, and it's going to teach your like it's going to teach family and kids around you like how to enjoy themselves too, and to really like use the holidays as a sanctuary time, because there's just been a shift of how things occur because it's a lot of like last minute stress. It's like not just you, it's like people getting in like at the last minute, like people are traveling to come to you. There's a lot of like last minute stuff. So it's like the holidays have become a like, I'm happy we're here, but it was exhausting to get here, not just for you. So it's like making the house feel kind of like a sanctuary, because I do feel like people are more so coming to you for the holidays. Okay. I'm aware definitely that's going to be, you're like going to be hosting at your house for one of the big gatherings. If you can understand that, you're definitely already set up for being a host at one of the big gatherings. And so it's about not only of you managing that, but making the house like a sanctuary place, making the house a place where everything comes together, because I'm just aware of like hosting is going to be on a different level. So if you can understand this, it's about self-care, it's about sanctuary of space, and it's about being ahead of it with the prayers, the grounding spirit, and self care for things to go better. All right. So with that said, we're going to move on, and hopefully, Jessica, you understand that. All right. Let's see. There's something about you hosting, though. There's something about you hosting or being responsible for hosting that is coming in strong. I hope you can understand that. All right. So, Angela, and Keith, and Tara. Tara was up top. So I'm going to go to Tara. I'll go to Tara. And I'm going to pick up some of the names as I go that I mentioned. Okay. All right. Okay. So Tara, I'm just making sure I can type as I put down the cards on my computer, and I'm making sure I don't pop things down over keys and stuff. So Tara, what I got as the main card for you was the family card, and that's about making sure everything is coming together and that there's harmony and strength within family. And I feel like that is a place within you that is very much natural and strong. Family is something that's very important to you, and there are close connections and family units already in play. It's letting me know though that since that is taken care of, and not everything's always like peachy 100% of the time, but since that is taken care of, then it is time to actually look to yourself and to put energy into yourself, because it's like checklist, like accounted for others. And the cards that are coming up for that was like needing the needing a new hobby or time for a new hobby card, and also the needing a friend card. And that's all about acknowledgement of it's time to expand your network, and it's time to expand who you are as a person. And that area could be uncomfortable, or you might feel like, well, I don't know if, everything allows for me to do that. And there's always places and situations and time for that. There always is. There's always, free things out there in the world. There's always people you might bump into that are friendly and kind that you just vibe with, but you like put that intention out there to be open to that. There's always things going on in the community that are accessible, and just make it so that it's simple and just be like, hey, I want to find something that just works for me that I can integrate, or I can just like open up. And I need help. You ask the universe saying, make this a little bit easier for me. Okay. So it kind of falls into my lap. And I feel like it's very important to open this door. And even if if it is a little difficult or stressful, or sometimes we have anxiety when we do new things or we add things to our life, it's just like, do I really need this? Do I really need this? Like my life is good, even though I want this. It's kind of like overthinking the things and over anticipating just something that's new. It's like life is about change and new things, and we kind of like have these new feelings kick up within us that teaches us about ourselves based on the new experiences. So it's like get a little bit like become a little different, become a little bit uncomfortable. It teaches you about yourself. So this is very important to integrate. And if you have these feelings, remember, hey, it's just very normal, but this is good that I go outside of my comfort zone and outside of my box. Okay. So in the past, really pushing yourself too much, going up above and beyond, doing things for other people, that is a theme. And it's just like you can go above and beyond. You have so much drive within you and so much help force within you. So just apply that to yourself. You got extra reserves, girl. You really do. So I'm going to acknowledge that for you, and I'm going to leave you with that. It is time to expand the way that you experience you, mix it up. It's good if it doesn't feel like 100%, because your energy is percolating and changing. Okay. Just allow it to percolate and change. It's very healthy. And that is what I say. You're welcome. Thank you for understanding. Thank you. Okay. And then for Jessica too as well. Uh, I'll be hosting birthdays. Okay, you can understand hosting. Okay, thank you. My husband's birthday, and wow, that's a lot of birthdays and wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. That makes sense too, because I was wondering, like, I don't know about the holidays, but you're hosting, so what are you doing? Okay, so that makes 100% sense, Jessica. And again, thank you, Tara. And I'm glad both of you can understand. Okay. Keith says, Happy Halloween, everyone. Hope you all are, I think, good and have a great and fun day. Hello, Ify. I believe it's Ify. Or Ife. I'm always learning how to say the wonderful, beautiful names of people that are coming in. And okay, so who is next? I think I said Katie's next. Katie, I think you are next. Okay, and I'm just making sure I didn't miss some of the people that I said were next. So Katie's next, and Keith. So Katie and Keith. All right, that's what we'll be doing. All right. All right. Katie. And also, everybody, remember you can pop down your numbers. That lets me go into your energy with numerology. It helps me get some understanding too. All right. So for Katie, all right. All right. So, Katie, all right. What is. Got some cards going upside down. I'm just making sure I can read. All right. So, some of the biggest things that I'm getting for you, Katie, is it's very important to trust yourself at this time because, as sensitives and as people who are, let's say, more perceptive of others or additional information that we get in life, sometimes we go, yeah, I know that, but this is life. Or you go, well, yeah, but I'm aware of that, but, and it's like we make kind of excuses for how reality or how people do things or how sometimes we can't change things, even though we've been given messages directly by the universe of, hey, this is important. Or yeah, this is the way it is. Here is your sign. Like, go get it, girl. Go get it. And there's this like bud. There's this bud. So the card is just like this single lotus bud. And it's basically showcasing within your energy with how I'm seeing it is like, this kind of these hopes and dreams, some of the path to get it started. And you're just like, I've been shown this and I've been given validation that I should do this. But okay, maybe another sign, or maybe like when there's a better time, and it's no, like the seed has been planted. The signs are that you're ready to grow, and the flower wants to blossom. The flower wants to blossom, but you're telling the flower like, I don't know if I'm ready to blossom, and you can't like constrict nature because it just is, and spirit is just sharing what you are too. So it's basically like it's time to grow. And it's like, let it be known about your passions, your gifts. Let it be known who you are and what you have to say. And this is on a personal level and like a professional level. So sometimes our professions start as like hobbies or side projects. So it's like whatever capacity that's in as well. But this is also a personal and like more of a vocation thing at the same time, because it's like you don't let people know what's in your heart enough, and you don't express sometimes what is needed to be expressed because you feel like, well, I can kind of see this coming, I can see the writing on the wall, or I don't think this person would even understand me. And it's just like, from a professional standpoint especially, like you have to speak so other people will find you, because the ones who understand you very naturally and beautifully, and those are people within your tribe, and that's where the energy just naturally flows, they will go, "Oh my gosh, like this person's amazing. Like I get their vibe," or like I'm like that too, or like that message, I needed to hear that, right? And the only way that they find you is if you are seen and heard, and you have to step up with that faith and trust yourself. And on the other end, when you do that with people, every once in a while, even if it's not well received, you get a direct sign of, wow, this person really can't meet me on this level. But it is your sign that you do have to speak up, and you have to talk about it, and you have to release the truth. And if it can't be done with certain people, it has to be done with others then, because what you're saying is real and has to be expressed. It can't be stunted or limited based on the conditions around you. You create your own conditions and you find new ones. So, Katie, it's very, very important to shake up the energy. That's the biggest thing that I'm getting. Shake up the old energy, a lot of releasing from the past. And as I'm checking comments, because it is just me here, I'm just deleting. We got some people coming in that are trying to solicit readings. That happens. That happens on live shows. It always does. People pop in where they try to pop in. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. So, Katie, you understand that. Thank you. I'm glad you understand that. It's absolutely time to shake up old energy, and you're like ready for that next phase. You're like, I don't want to do it the same way that I did it before. It doesn't exactly work, and you know that. And so sometimes, the saying, like, there's nothing wrong with the flower, it just needs to be in new soil. And that's what it feels like. It feels like there's a lot of growth happening, and it's just like, don't change who you naturally are. Just change the way that you um, are, just shying away from being who you are. Just allow yourself to naturally be. Allow yourself to naturally be. And plant yourself in different soil. Okay. So there's been an acknowledge of that in the past. So I do feel like you have kicked things up. You've already started to move new energy. You've already started to do some kind of new classes, or even like percolating for traveling, whether it is local traveling. But like you've opened up the new energy already, but it's time to continue to do so in different ways and in different facets. And the next step is really the people aspect. The people aspect, okay? Changing the way that you go about interacting with people, and finding more people who can go about, being open with you as you're open with them. Okay. So I'm glad that makes sense, Katie. And that is what is coming forth within the cards. Hello, Michael. It's great to see you. It is great to see you. Okay. So then we have Keith is next. Keith. Okay. And I think you asked for a card reading. Okay, a general card reading. It's very card reading-y today. Sometimes it's very numerology forward. Sometimes it's very psychic forward. And sometimes it's very card forward. So it's fun that it's card forward today. All right. So Keith. Right. I just pulled the cards how I pulled the cards. And so it's me shuffling, and then all of a sudden they're like, pull, go this direction, go that direction. So sometimes my brain has to go, I can't talk because I got to figure out which direction I'm going. And okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay. So Keith, all right, this is important. This is about like standing up on the next level. So you got the Master Your Own Fate card and the Opening Light card. And this is all about coming into your awareness as a healer, as an intuitive, as a person that really can make change in the world, okay? The Opening Light card is all about personal awareness and saying, I'm in touch with myself. I know the potential of myself, and I'm nurturing that within myself. And as I put more awareness, I grow and I step into who I know I need to be. And it's a very healing and welcoming time. It really is. It indicates that there has been a significant shift where you are ready to heal on the next level. And you're in a very positive place to do so, much more than it has been. Okay. There might be shifts and change, but much more than it has been. And you also got the mastering of your own fate card, but it was in a position as well as the opening light card that lets me know that there is resistance in this category because of the healing that's still going on. So a very, very positive place, but still learning about personal capacity. Okay. And so this is very good because the way that it's shifting, the cards around this are the love card and the compassion card. So you're sandwiched by like all this love. It's kind of like the opening of the heart, and it's like kicking up these new parts of you of leadership and confidence, and then it's going into more love. So even though it's positive and it seems it's actually again really 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 good. Okay, I'm glad this is making so much sense to you. All right. Oh yeah, the moon. You're mentioning the moon. The moon was really like an emotional moon. It really was. Yeah, and that was just like a couple days ago. I felt a very emotional moon, and it opened up energy for people and also stabilized energy for people because sometimes on social media, just amongst friends and networks, you go like, oh, what did the moon do for you? But I noticed that this one made a lot of people feel. It sure made me feel a lot more. That's for sure. Okay. So what I'm going back to is ultimately you're going into a place over the next couple years where you got the times are changing card linked up with the love card going forward, and this is going to be like new frontiers where you haven't been. So you're going to find yourself in situations where you're like, I have changed, I fully accept it, and I am a more open person, and this is what I broadcast, and I'm in new territory, so I feel really good and I want people to feel good around me, but I kind of don't know what happens next. And you're just kind of have to play it up to spirits. Like let's say breadcrumbs that they throw you, like, hey, try this now, and you need to go over here, and now it's time to do that. Like you're really in a surrender in universe mode coming up with the way that you're going to learn how to be. I feel like even a teacher, this involves like talking and motivating and helping others, Keith. This really is coming and being highlighted. And it's just like you don't know quite how it, like you have ideas, but you don't know quite how it's going to all go together, and it's going to shape and shift. So the more you do the self work and the more you continue to do the healing, which is happening very much now, and just go into all the uncertainty, like, I know I want to do it, but like there's all these pieces that I haven't connected yet. Don't worry, it's coming. It's coming. So, yeah, with the love card, it's like love yourself and love others. It's as simple and difficult as that. As you love yourself more, you're going to naturally just know how to handle the others and their needs around you, and that will really shape itself. So times are changing. It's like the universe is already in effect. Your life mission is being activated, and you are clear enough for the first time. If you can understand this, you're clear enough on a capacity, like because I'm getting the number 3, so like this is a shift of what happened 3 years ago. This is a culmination of what happened 3 years ago, and you are in this pristine clarity of where it's still changing, but it's so good, and you're divinely on time. So I'm going to give that to you. Continue to do heart opening exercises and put yourself in heart opening places. Purge, release, and get into listening to your spirit and acknowledging that you are the master of your own fate. So those were your cards that you are rectifying. All right. So you're also a number 3-2 for your life path. Oh, that's cool. So that means, my friend, you are made to teach and you're made to be around others and inspire them. Your work is supposed to be about being seen and heard in a way where you teach people to either laugh again or think or open up their mind. 3 is all about I am here to speak. I'm here to proclaim. I am here to share. Okay, that is the accumulation of your life, and so you must put yourself out there in ways where people can find you. That is the culmination of your life, and you'll be so fulfilled and happy to activate that. You really will be. Don't overthink it, just show up when you're ready. We can't be fully ready always, but when you're ready enough. Okay? Absolutely, Keith, absolutely. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna jump to Ife. I think it's Ifa. Ife? Ifa. Let's see here. Yes. All right. So hopefully I'm saying your name correctly. Ife. Um, I'm gonna pull a general for you. If you want something more specific, just let me know. Okay? Just let me know. I'm gonna take a drink of water. Okay. Let's see what comes up. So right now, it's interesting. So you got the refocus the mind card, you got a mediumship card, and the summer song card for what's going on right now in your energy, which I found really interesting. So the first thing that comes up is it's a time where like we get overwhelmed sometimes, okay? Because I got the refocusing the mind card, so I'm gonna start with there. We get overwhelmed sometimes, and it's almost like, I can't think straight. I just can't think straight, or I'm trying to, fix things or help things, and it's just like, ah. So it's letting me know that you need to slow down. You need to take care of yourself. You need to plant your feet in the ground. You need to ground yourself. And if there are activities where we can do that, please, 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 please. Like if you can put your feet in the grass, if you can go to the ocean, or if you can, stand in the forest or just like on a hill. It's just like you need to be in touch with nature. Like nature really grounds you. And I'm calling you back to nature so you can just go, okay, let's just kind of see where I'm at because it's just like woo too much. Okay. It's also highlighting, so you got the mediumship card. So you do have natural abilities where you have like seen spirit, heard spirit, you get messages, your intuition naturally is very strong. And so some of these things are kicking up in a way where when the mind's not focused, the messages that we receive are erratic, or sometimes we get a piece of the message. Sometimes we're in the ballpark of, and we're just like, well, I got a little bit, but I don't know. And it's kind of like you don't know how to do it. Or sometimes it's like even scary because you're just like, what is this? What is this? What is this? And it's all about grounding and focusing the mind where you can go step 1, step 2. Okay. And so it's an acknowledgement that your energy is changing and you just need different care at this time. It also highlights the summer song card. So you've been focusing on trying to just relax and have a nice time. And that's how your self care has been being enacted. But it's letting you know that it's important to have that, but that's not enough. We can have a nice time and let go and have the self care and relax, but the mind still is going to be busy. The body's still going to be ungrounded if we're not taking care of ourselves properly in certain places, or if we're not acknowledging certain things that have come up and giving it proper time and attention. So you need to focus on the self care that is not just about feel good self care. Okay. So that comes up very strong for the now. Um, and then I feel like too, so if you can understand this in like the past couple of months, Um, it's more than months, but I'm aware that it's been enacted in the last couple of months too as well. Like, you have put yourself first. So, like, as I'm talking to you, you might be like, "Well, I have been putting myself first. I have been doing the self-care." And it's just like, "Yeah, you I wanna celebrate you. I wanna say good, good, good." But it's the acknowledgement that we need our minds to be at peace. So if you are relaxing, but your mind's still not at peace, um, or you just feel like a little bit just like, let's say, anxiety prone, even though you're doing all these things, it's letting you know that you need balance in other places. Okay. So I'm giving you the pat on the back for everything you're doing. And spirit is acknowledging, like, hey, we got to look in some other places. And then you're going to feel on a such much more deeper level. Okay. So self care needs to be tweaked and further understood. You have to further understand about your body, emotions, and your mind. So find somebody to help unlock that. Start researching on Google, YouTube to further unlock that. Okay. I want you to get your gears turning and working. Um, as we go forward, I'm just aware that like finances are a little bit like rocky. So we want to continue to just understand how we can stabilize our energy, because once we do that, abundance comes. Abundance comes and things get clear, and we have the clarity and perception to go, I don't want that in my life anymore. And it's funny how things clear up when we go so clear with our energy. Like, that doesn't work for me anymore. That doesn't work for me anymore. And since I've said no to that, all of a sudden I have an opening up of energy and stream in this department now. So there's going to be a lot of movement within your life, but first there needs to be the internal and physical wellness of, oh, yes, I feel like myself on another level. I feel good. I feel good. Okay. So that's where the power will come from, feeling good on the inside routinely, and knowing that it's not just from taking a break or doing something fun. The deeper restoration. So that comes up. Hopefully that makes sense for you, Ifa, or Ife. I hope it helps. All right. So, okay, you're saying happy 111 day? Oh, thank you. Yes, in numerology, it is a fun day like that. What is it is 1 1, and then yep, it is 111. Isn't that You're exactly right. It is 111 day. It is an attitude one day, a personal day one, and it is a path of one. Okay. So the personal year of people for this day is activated as a 1 2 as well. That is so interesting. Um, I didn't even think about that today. Um, I love 11 1 because it's an attitude 3, and I love attitude 3 days. So I was so focused on it being an attitude 3 day, personal day 1, that I didn't even think about the year. That's so cool. So it is a triple 1 day. And so since it is so, it's really an opening up of energy, an opening up of energy. And October itself, the 10th. So we're in Scorpio season still as I talk about this, but the month of 10 was about cleansing and releasing and healing, as well as stepping up with our new self. And so we meet that now with further love and cleansing and healing within November. But to start it with such open activation of 111, that means that all avenues are possible. It means that, we're coming into ourselves on a level that we really do feel like new individuals within our lives, where the past can't hold us back. So 1 is a very self-activating number, and it's a number that ignites always confidence and self-assurance of, you know what? I got this. This is my time. This is what I'm here to do. I can focus on myself in a new and elevated way. So that is actually really, really cool. I'm going to make a post about that, Keith, actually. Thank you for inspiring that. I really appreciate you. And so for Ife, um, she was talking about for a reading, it makes sense, but wondering if a spirit has been trying to communicate with me or if it just yeah, I picked up on that. Remember when I was talking about how sometimes you have abilities and since you have been stressed, it's been hard to kind of like figure out kind of what that spirit is and it's been freaking you out. Yeah, yeah. Um Mostly, it's the stress. Mostly, it's the stress. So, when we feel spirit within our house, um, we're not and let's say we're not familiar with feeling spirit, we're like, "What the heck is someone doing in our house? Someone's standing beside me, it's coming up, it's freaking me out." And really, and I kid you not, the most common occurrences everybody gets is grandpa saying hi, grandma saying hi, our guides are with us, mom might pop in again, past loved ones, of course, but their energy is present and they're actually supporting us and they're coming to us at times of stress to kind of say like, hey, it's bigger than this, it's okay, you know get back into the knowing, get back into the truth. And so they activate this opening up of paying attention. So, you shock yourself awake essentially. But sometimes we go, what the heck was that? And we just get scared. So there's a lot of really interesting occurrences where, and it's kind of, I have compassion because it is scary, but it's kind of funny at times that grandma and grandpa, they're just coming for love, but they freak us the heck out. Okay? Or even a past friend giving us consoling, and they're just like, "Who the heck was that?" And so, like, I always think too, like, a friend that I had growing up and well, not growing up, but, back from a while ago, a friend, a really good friend, and she was talking about how, her daughter was sensing spirit, and it was freaking her out. And she was like, "It's a woman. I don't know who it is. Like, I can sense it's a woman." And she just keeps coming by the house, And I was like, "I feel her, and my daughter has felt her, and we don't know who this is." And I'm just like, and my friend was like talking to the spirit, "You better back off. You better leave my daughter alone." Well, really, when I tuned in, it was just my friend's mom and her daughter's grandmother coming by to say hello. And really, that's why she's around always in the house. It's just grandma, it's slash mom saying hello. And they were freaking out, thinking, like, I don't know who this lady is. She's got to go. And it's really interesting like that. Okay. So sometimes when we're stressed out or in a place of uncertainty ourselves, that's where our perception is. So we go, my goodness, who the heck is there to torment me further? Who the heck is showing up? It's already bad. Okay. So the first thing is to just cleanse the space, cleanse yourself, cleanse the space. And if you find yourself, once you are centered and in a good and balanced place, if you're still getting fear of what's coming in, just ask yourself, am I afraid of experiencing something that I don't know enough about? That's one you have to check off on your box. Two, do I just get a feeling of fear every time this energy comes around and I know that it's not coming from myself as well? You got to check off that box and just ask the spirit to go away and see what happens. Okay. So it's your space. Um, and you ask for something more loving to come in. And that's very, very important because this is important for us when we can feel spirit or for mediums naturally that we have associations where, okay, I'm feeling something, but I don't want to feel that. So, can something of love and light or healing come in instead? So, I know what spirit feels like and I know the different vibrations. And can I have something else instead? Because we always can. Okay. We always can. And just know your power and affirm that. And so I do feel like it is just spirit trying to help you. And I do feel like spirit is trying to remind you of your worth and your power, and they're trying to lift you up in relationships, okay? All right? So just take what I said and know that you are a natural medium, and just lean into saying, "Hey, I'm clearing the space if this doesn't really serve me well, but thank you. If I feel like someone is wanting to give me a message, I want to just work with the healing for myself, or I want to, can you bring forth a spirit that is with a healing vibration so I can experience that as I'm learning more about myself and my sensitivities." Okay. So, but I encourage you to seek out teachers and help and just learn more about sensing spirit. Okay? Because I don't think it's a spirit that's coming to torment you. It's a spirit coming to help wake you up. And waking up is scary. Okay? It's scary. All right. But spirit isn't. It's not. All right. All right. So I'm going to take one more and then I'll go with Anne. Um, she's asking, is there a future together ahead for me? And she's listing her partner or someone she's thinking about. So she's listing a name. Please, if there is commitment coming for us. Interesting. Okay. So let's see what comes up. Hmm. Okay. So I got a lot of cards. You can't make this up, but I got a lot of cards around that you are pushing yourself definitely towards wanting something. There's that. It's like you're pushing yourself towards perfection, okay? Like that this has to be in place and this has to be right, and you're pushing yourself to a standard. And it's creating a little bit of stress. It's creating stress. Um, and this is all leading you to a place where you're learning about love, where you're learning about, yourself through this relationship, as well as you're learning how to open up who you are on a more vulnerable level and a more truthful level. So this is again another time of tremendous change where you are understanding how it's uncomfortable to be loved, but you are smack dab in the middle of going, okay, I'm learning about what love is. I'm learning about what love is and who I am, and I'm going to allow this relationship to be a mirror where I learn about myself. So it's really important because there is attention needed on this, not just for the outcome of will I have this, will we go this direction? There needs to be attention on how I receive love, how I feel confident and safe and secure in love, and how my partner honors me and how he can actually truly give that to me and how I can give that to him with how I, intend for this love to go. So I'm aware of there is stress. There is stress coming up because it's like you're trying so hard and putting so much effort into being the perfect partner, the perfect person. So this person accepts you and this person, wants you on this greater, grander level. And that I feel like isn't sustainable. That is going to create cracks and conflict with how you accept one another because you're trying to overdo it, and it's not allowing the naturalness of the the issues of what needs to be healed to come forth and just be rectified. It's rather of I'm just going to try to not focus on that and focus on the good stuff, or focus on how I can get to the outcome rather than going through, my worries, my fears, or his worries and his fears and coming together in that place. So that needs to go. It's like the way that you formerly loved or think you have had to love, and him too, that has to let go and form anew for this new love to be properly stabilized. So there's a lot of self-healing of the past. There's a lot of trusting each other in a new capacity and being very vulnerable, open, and when we are vulnerable and open, it's a natural awkwardness, it's a natural uncomfortableness. And that's how we see each other, because like love is accepting our flaws and our limitations and going, I still want to do this with you because I know who you are becoming, but I need to see who you are clearly so I know how to help encourage who you're becoming, and how you know how to properly encourage who I'm becoming. And we do that in a way of acceptance. So, it's about finding a new intimacy with your partner and having a true friendship with your partner and supporting each other so you can support each other one step of a way. So you're going to evolve in the relationship where there's long-term consistency, because a marriage is all about continually supporting one another and having honest conversations and holding each other when we fall, having that support system. Um, and if we don't know how to hold each other when we fall, then it creates a very confusing dynamic, even though it seems like a picture perfect dynamic sometimes. Um, we need to have the full spectrum of the I'm vulnerable here's who I am. Do you still love me anyway? And also the this is everything that I want to do for you because you bring out this side within me and I want to share that with you. We need the full everything. We need the full gambit. We need to display it all and to do the work through it, mostly the self-work. Mostly the self-work. So what's coming up is that the energy is pushing itself too much, and there actually needs to be um, a letting go of what formerly is how the relationship is operating in order for it to sustain itself and get to a place of long-term, um, healthy growth and strength, stability. Okay, so it's about putting attention on yourself, healing, opening your heart to love, being vulnerable, and for both of you to see what comes up along the way. If you can nurture that, if you can go through the trials and tribulations, you're going to have some really good stuff. You're going to have some really good stuff going forward. Okay. So, with that said, I hope it makes sense. And it's good to ponder on it. And thank you for being so vulnerable with your questions. And you're saying, is it possible to get to that place? So, when it comes to relationships, this is free will territory. Okay. This is free will territory, and there are obstacles that we have to navigate. And it's about people have potentials. People have potentials, and it's like what comes out through those potentials. So you have your own potential, and he has his own potential. And the number one thing coming forth, because I cannot see an outcome if there's a potential that needs to be rectified first. And the potential that has to be rectified first is to make sure that you are showing your true selves and you are acknowledging how you can help each other as you expose your true selves, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful all at once. And once you are vulnerable enough and forthcoming enough to be in that place within each other, you can go the distance. It's like first, the death of formerly how it's working has to occur in order the birth of the long term to actually transpire. Okay. So something actually has to die and change. And when we talk about death, we talk about transformation, a change of energy, and up of energy. So something has to open up and change in order for this long-term energy to be locked into place properly. And that's what's coming forth the strongest. Once that is rectified, hey, it's looking like a lot of smooth sailing, but you have to get through that storm and you have to weather that storm. Okay. So that is the first thing. That is the first thing that is in the forefront. Okay. And that is what I'm seeing. Okay. So thank you so much for everyone being here. Thank you for all your kind comments and considerations. Yes, the future sometimes is very, here's what you've built, this is what's coming. But it is also here, this is what is in the air, this is what's being healed, this is what's moving, these are the parts present. So there are different parts that come up within the future, and I just describe what I see and I do the best that I can to feel into that. And hopefully that is, whether it is an exact map or a partial map, to understanding more about the destination to where we're all becoming and we're all going. Hopefully that gives some perspective to that. With that said, thank you so much for joining me on the Psychic Hour Reading Show. On Friday, we will be back for the Psychic Hour interview show, and that will be with psychic medium and teacher Drew Callie. So he's a fantastic medium. So it'll be great to have him on the show. We're going to go into his life. And along the way, I also will be sharing, I might pop on later today actually, but I'll be sharing about the numerology class I have coming up again with Lisa Williams School, and that's Numerology 101, the beginner's class, and that is a 6-hour class. It's happening on November 18th, and it dives into all about making sure you understand the basics of numerology in order to actually start to read with it and to understand signs and symbology. So it's about learning the basics, but actually applying it instantly so you can understand how to feel numbers, tune into numbers, and not just get super heady with them and about learning this rule and that rule. So it's a very, very fun interactive class. Join me for that on the 18th. It's up on Lisa's website, and the details will be up on my website today too as well. So please, thank you for being here, and I will see you on Friday with Drew Callie. With that said, please go with love, luck, light, and don't forget to live, everybody. See you then.